Good morning, everybody. A pleasant Saturday to you. Chris Brooks here with you on the 615 Prep Scoreboard presented by Fifth Year Technology Solutions. Scott Burton will join me shortly from the road. I'm not sure exactly where he's at, but he's parked in a coffee shop getting set up. But we're going to go fast this morning with these highlights and these scores. Kind of a sparse schedule in week number 9 as nearly half of our area was out for fall break. So only a handful of games to talk about and show you some highlights for. But let's get the scoreboard going. Already from Thursday night. We'll start with a big one for Trousdale County. Their first win of the year. The Yellow Jackets knock off Whites Creek 20-16. They keep the playoff streak alive for now, at least for the next couple of weeks, as they have an open date next week. They must defeat Watertown in 2 weeks to reach the playoffs. If not, their 34-year postseason streak will come to an end. But the Yellow Jackets do get into the win column on Thursday night. Whites Creek falls to 2-6. With that loss. Another Thursday night game that we were actually at was Laverne at Overton. So let's check out those highlights for you. A couple of region rivals meeting on Thursday night in Nashville. Overton opens the scoring here. It's Javon Edmondson with the second effort. He gets into the end zone to end the Bobcats' first drive, giving Overton a 6-0 lead. They went for 2 and did not get it. Zip Bobcats. In the second quarter, here's Javon Drake for Laverne, finding Lawaya Saroba. For this Laverne touchdown, it tied the game at 6. Overton, blocked the extra point to keep it tied, but the Wolverines took the lead anyway. David Waters from 2 yards out here gives Laverne a 13-6 lead, and that's the lead that they would take through halftime. In the third quarter, a bad snap over the punter's head goes through the end zone. It's a safety for Overton, 13-8. But the Wolverines took control in the third quarter. Devon Drake, again, finding open field and taking off for 59 yards and a Wolverine score, 19-8 Laverne. To the fourth quarter we go, and it's Drake again. This time, he'll find it from 12 yards out. Laverne in control, 26-8, and looking to pull a big upset. Later in the fourth, back to the air, the Wolverines go. Here's Drake finding Thomas Allen with a great catch. 40-yard touchdown for the Wolverines, and they pull a Thursday night upset in a big way, knocking off Overton 30-8.
All right. Talk to me about the message at halftime. You guys are up 13-6, and you played fairly well, but Overton is still in the ballgame. What you guys talking about in the locker room? Or over there, actually.
To continue what we're doing. We play all week. We practice all week for the same thing. We ran behind Elijah and Brandon the whole time, so we was going to win regardless in our heads before the game even started.
This has been, it's kind of been a tough season on you guys, but what does tonight mean for y'all and going into the last couple of weeks for y'all?
We're still alive in the playoffs. So they gave us hope, so when we play together, we get the win, continue to play.
Big touchdown pass there, kind of put this thing away. Talk to me about what you saw on that play to get you guy open down the field.
11 came up, he was looking in the backfield, and I know if I threw it right behind him, it was going to be a dive.
Tonight has been a big night for you guys, obviously staying alive. But the way the offense was able to play, you especially on that read option. What were you seeing that was able to get you some open looks over there?
The pulling guard we got was Troy. He was making hope for us. We got Pray on him on that side, so it was just clear as great.
How much fun is this weekend going to be now that you got a win on Thursday night? You don't have to worry about tomorrow.
Oh, it's very fun. We're gonna celebrate today, be sore in the morning, do the same thing next week. It's a team.
All right. Congratulations. Great night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very good birthday present.
Yeah.
Coming in here on a Thursday night and beating a team that's been playing good football.
Yeah.
How this happened, honestly?
You know what? I don't know. Because that's a real good football team we play tonight, and but we told the guys earlier in the week that if we were going to get this, we couldn't worry about the flash. I mean, Overton does a great job. They're a very physical football team. They're going to come at you, and we had to match that physicality. And we talked about just making the game ugly. Running backs, you're going to have to be happy to get your shoulders down and pick up 3 or 4 yards. Defensive line, you got to understand that as defensive tackles, you may not make a tackle. You're going to get double teamed all night long, and just own up to that and win ugly. And they bought into it.
How important is that first series defensively in the third quarter when you've got a lead and you hold them off the scoreboard and you're up 13-6 the rest of the way?
Well, I tell you what, I thought the bigger stop was right before half when they had a long kick return and got down, and we made a stop right before half. And then you're right, so that was big to keep them out because they started the series, I think, on our 35, and we kept them out. And then, of course, anytime you got a kickoff to start the second half, if you can get your defense out there and keep them off the board, that's huge. And that was big for us.
Javon had an awesome game, a monster game for you guys. And what was it about him tonight that made him so effective?
Well, it started up front. Our offensive line really did a great job getting some push tonight. And Javon, Javon just bought into it too. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't get outside and just use your 4.4 speed and go 80. It would stay inside the tackles. And I thought that, he and our other 2 running backs, Dante Clark and David Waters, they all did a really good job of not trying to bounce stuff outside. Just get your shoulder pads down, trust your linemen, and get north-south and get ugly. And if you break a tackle, it looks pretty, and that happened a few times.
Heard in the post-game huddle, it feels like you guys have an opportunity the last couple of weeks to do some real damage. What do you guys need to do the last couple of weeks to end the season at least on a high note, if not somehow sneak in?
Build on this and not be content. Not show up on Monday and think all of a sudden we arrived because we won one game. What tonight did was keep us alive. So we've got to come out Monday. And that's why I told the guys it's really not just Monday. It starts Monday, but we got to put this game behind us and be ready to work to Centennial and try to build some momentum because as good as that scoreboard looks, there are some things we still could get better at, need to fix.
All right, let's bring Scott Burton in. Finally, he's got himself set up. Scott, where are you this morning? First off,
I am at Lassiter's Coffee and Tea here in Goodlettsville. I'm on my way to a family event in Georgia, but I'm glad to join you today.
All right. Yeah, you were with me over at Overton Thursday night. Well, obviously, want to mention no Ryder Hagan for Overton. He was out with an injury. He was nursing something from the Cane Ridge game. They wanted to hold him out, so they're still in good shape as far as the number 2 seed as long as they went out. So the loss, while yes, it's an upset, not entirely damaging to the Bobcats for the moment.
No, and that's something that we're seeing more of as the season progresses. We're seeing a little bit more of those quarterbacks, those skill position players, fighting off injuries here and there. Sometimes they're precautionary, especially in a game like this where it doesn't hurt them.
Yep. Overton's got Antioch on the road next week. Laverne will travel to Centennial for a non-region contest for them, but 33-8 winners for Laverne, a big win for the Wolverines on Thursday night. Another Thursday score, Mount Juliet 52-0 over Republic. The Golden Bears had no trouble there in that one on Thursday. They're at Hillsborough next week for a key region game. Republic travels to Chattanooga Christian. Creekwood 31-3 winners over Hillwood as the Redhawks improve to 5-3. They get Glencliff at home next week. Hillwood will finish its season and its run at that school. They will move into a new school next year. They will become Lawson High School over there in West Nashville. And the Hilltoppers will get Lawrence County at home to close that run out for them next week. Thursday night, or now Friday scores for you. Blackman 62-28 winners over Rockville. The Blaze now the number 2 seed in Region 4-6A with that win over Rockville. They're now 6-2 on the year, 3-1 in region play. Rockville drops to 4-4. They get Coffee County at home next week.
But if I'm not mistaken, Blackman sewed up the number 2 seed in the region with this victory.
Yeah, they did. They're number 2. Yeah. and more on that region here in just a bit. Let's get over to Gallatin from the game that you were at, Scott. We'll go ahead and pull these highlights up from Beech and Gallatin. One at the Wade yard, and the Bucks get on board early. JP Courtney, 7-0 Beech. Off the series. Beech blocked Gallatin punt, and a play later, Darius Johnson for 5-yard punt worked his way in. Beech made it 14-0. On to quarter number 2, JP Courtney again finding the end zone for Beech. As the Buccaneers were well in control, 21-0. Gallatin did find the end zone late in the first half. On 4th and goal from the 1, Zakian Brinkley stretches the ball over the goal line for 6 and a Green Wave touchdown. Beech led this one 21-7 at the half. In the third quarter, the Buccaneers start to break away, just like Darius Johnson does here. Gets to the outside, finds the edge, up the middle, and outrunning all the Gallatin defenders, 79 yards, and a 28-7 Beech lead. He wasn't done there. Just a short time later, he plays a little defense as well with the interception and a pick 6. Darius Johnson in the end zone there. 35-7, and the Strainhorns going off for the Beech faithful. Bucks will finish this one off through the air. Justice Law finds Kawan Harris. 53 yards later, the Bucks win this one 42-7. They win region 5-6A with that win.
Here with Bronco Hanks. Beech just clinches the region with a win over Gallatin.
Yes, sir.
What was the key to this game coming in? You felt Gallatin has a pretty stout running game.
Yeah, they're pretty physical, just like us, and the key was just get lined up and read our keys and do our assignments. And I think we did pretty well. We knew they were going to bust a couple ones. They got some players, but we held our composure and we just kept stopping them. So,
what was it like coming up into this game this week, knowing what was on the line?
Well, it was a lot. I mean, we practiced hard. We had a couple rough days, but we knew we had to bounce back. And the next day at practice, we just kept getting better and better.
Now, your offense got on board, but let's talk about what the defensive special teams did. You get the punt block.
Yes, sir.
that puts you guys up. How big was it to go up 2 scores on Gallatin?
Oh, that was awesome, man. All week, all year, our coach was saying we can't block a punt, and he especially told me at practice this week. I was like, all right, I just got to block it this week, and I ended up blocking it, so it was awesome.
Now, let's talk about your offense and what what they did for you, especially 26-7. What did they do for your team?
I mean, our O-line is awesome. I mean, the effort they put in every play for our running backs, and then our running backs running behind them. It's just awesome to go back on the field and know that we have a good offense to carry our backs as well on defense.
And a lot is made of the offense, but your defense is no slouch.
Yeah, we try. I mean, offense gets all the credit, but the big dogs in the trenches on defense, they got to get some every once in a while. So.
Oh, outstanding. Well, enjoy the win. Enjoy the region. You got Brentwood coming up.
Yes, so that's a huge game next week. I know it's not a region game, but that's a huge test for the playoffs coming up.
Yeah, a lot of those times. Yeah, I'm sure the coach will be saying that's the type of team you'll be seeing.
Yes, sir. We're excited. Can't wait to play them and get a little revenge from last year. So.
Outstanding. Well, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Beech locks up the region with that title, and Bronco's right. That game against Brentwood next week, it's important for them because it's a big test.
Yeah, absolutely, it's a big test. It'll tell them exactly because we've heard this before. Those are the types of teams that they'll be seeing in the playoffs. This game was pretty much Beech from the beginning. They took the opening kickoff and got really good field position. A couple plays later, they're on the board, blocked that punt, which was huge. Next play they score. But Gallatin was kind of hampered too a little bit. About midway through the second half, Luke Cook, their quarterback, had run out of bounds, and it wasn't malicious, but when you try to slow down and somebody's coming full speed, he just hit him a little bit late, but pushed him right into the bricks, and and Luke was out for the rest of the game. Now, talking to him later, he was walking around. He had a nice pack, but hopefully we see him sooner than later.
Yeah. Gallatin has a non-region game against Lebanon next week, and like I said, Beech will play Brentwood in week number 10. But the Buccaneers are region champions, and a 42-7 win helped make that happen. Before we go any further, let's hear from our sponsors at Fifth Gear Technology Concepts.
Easier for you to say.
Right. Here we go. In today's business world, it can be expensive to maintain a staff of experienced and knowledgeable IT personnel, especially for a small or medium-sized business. You don't have the time to monitor your own systems or stay up on the latest cybersecurity or technological solutions while trying to service your customers. That's why you should contact Fifth Gear Technology Concepts. Fifth Gear is an award-winning managed service provider that can manage your business needs with local and responsive IT support services. Fifth Gear specializes in fully managed or co-managed IT support, cybersecurity, cloud solutions, and superior customer care that can fit your budget. Call today to learn more at 615-606-3121 or visit us at fifthgearconcepts.com. Fifth Gear Technology Concepts, the latest insights and information in the world of IT. Back to the scoreboard from Friday night. Davidson Academy 34-7 winners over Good Pasture. The Bears improved to 500 on the season, and they get a non-region game against Stratford next week, where Good Pasture falls to 5-3, and they will host DeKalb County next Friday night. Procone 19-6 winners at Greenbrier. They do win the region with this victory. But Greenbrier gave them quite a bit to handle on that game Friday night. 4 loss, 2 play. Procone 7-2, and will have next week off. So let's get some highlights from our spotlight game from last night, East Robertson and Westmoreland. What up there in Cumberland County is this one also for region title in Region 4 Class 2A. Early on, it's a 4th down run for Zach Prince. 4th and 4, no problem. 48 yards for Prince all the way to the end zone. East Robertson leads this one 7-0. Indians would add it to that lead in the second quarter. As we'll see here in a moment. Close to the end zone, Colin Cook rolls out, finds Carson Craig right there in the end zone for that touchdown, 14-0 Indians. East Robertson pretty much in control from there, although Westmoreland did cut that lead to 14-7. As we'll show here in a second. Here's Nick Gray for the Eagles, finding his way into the end zone. Westmoreland cut the East Robertson lead in half. It did stay there through the entirety of the third quarter. On to the fourth. Here's Isaiah Groves, cutting and slashing his way and reaching over the goal line to the end zone for the East Robertson touchdown, 22-7. They went for the extra 2-point conversion and got it, up by 15. Isaiah Groves again putting the finishing touches on this one. With that touchdown run, East Robertson wins 29-7. They win the region title.
It's a big deal for you guys to win a region title first time since 05. I mean, what's the feeling like a few minutes after you guys have just wrapped that up?
Amazing. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. So it's a great chance we get to see this.
Early on, it was kind of the game you guys expected, kind of knockout, drag out, October type football. Is that the kind of game that you guys wanted to play tonight?
Yes, sir. Our goal was to be patient, wait on it, every step we get, handle adversity, and we're going to come to us.
The backbreaker drive there in the second half where you guys, I think, 16 plays to pretty much put it away. How did that feel, just controlling that drive?
Like I said, being patient, waiting to come to us. We knew whoever handled adversity better was going to come to them, man.
This team has come a long way under Coach Brooks already. You guys are starting to kind of hit your stride right now. How do you feel about this team as a whole?
Hopefully we can go all the way. That's my main focus right now. Is we got the region championship, so the next goal is coming up.
I mean, you're going to have as many playoff games at home as you want.
Yes, sir.
How cool is that for you guys?
Amazing. First time we get to see something like this in a while.
Couple weeks left in this season. What's the focus got to be to keep this train rolling?
Get better every day, get better every week. We know it's going to be good teams in the playoffs, so prepare for those. But don't overlook any opponent that we got coming up these past 2 weeks.
Last thing before I let you go, what would it mean to take the next step and go deep in the playoffs and maybe make it better?
I think our leaders going to step up a little more because we haven't experienced anything like this. So we might have to listen to the coaches. Real good leaders.
He's got done talking to Zeke. I mean, obviously, he's excited about what transpired here tonight. What about you? How are you feeling after the win?
Excited. We knew coming into the game that, what we needed to do to win this football game. We felt good about our guys doing their job. Offensive line, we challenged those guys to match Westmoreland's physicality. They're a great defense. And we told our guys, how good are we? We have that measuring stick. They talk about we ain't played nobody. And so this is our measuring stick. We played a great football team with a great defense, and our guys come out and performed. And so we challenged them to, just get better each and every week, and I feel like we did that this week.
And defensively, your guys stood up to Westmoreland and kind of helped them, except for the one touchdown. I mean, they helped out in zone.
Yeah, and the defense, same thing. We preach getting better each and every week. We had that bad first week against Macon County, but from that point forward, our defense has gotten better each and every week, and that's what we want to do. Hit the playoffs, at full strength and as good as we can be.
That third quarter went about as well as could be hoped, couldn't it?
Yes, sir. It's one of those things that, offensive line's dream, hey, we're going to get 4 yards and we're just going to keep this thing going and going and going. The backs seeing the hole, the linemen staying on their blocks. And so turned into, somebody told me 16-play drive or something that ate up, 10 minutes or something like that. So that was huge in the game, and, and hopefully you can do some of those more in the future.
When you see a drive like that work the way it did, does that kind of give you more confidence that this team can play that type of football in October, November?
Oh, absolutely. That's the kind of team you want to be. Coach Alexander, Coach A, our offense coordinator, does an awesome job of mixing it up, with our schemes and things like that. Kind of looks the same in the backfield, but doing little things here and there, just trying to get a little advantage. But, he's doing an excellent job calling plays and keeping that ball rolling.
It's been a long time for Cross Point to see some playoff football, and you're going to be at home as long as you want.
Yes, sir.
How good is that for this program?
That's huge, man. We talked about coming to this game, how big, not only for a region championship, but for home playoff advantage throughout the whole playoffs. Keeps, some of the better teams out of Chattanooga from coming to our place until, a little deeper in the playoffs. And so, that was big for us, being able to play, because East Robertson's never made it past the second round of the playoffs ever. And so that's one of our goals as well.
Something Zeke told me that was interesting is he felt like the leaders need a little bit more from them because of the lack of experience in these types of games. What do you think about that?
Exactly. We had a pretty bad week last week against Watertown. And so we challenged our seniors, we got to be better, right? We got to be leaders. We got to come out and show our dominance and set the tone for the whole game. We can't let up and, go back to the old us of kind of getting onto each other and, tearing each other down. That we got to keep each other picked up and, play our brand of football.
Big step toward that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah, big one for East Robertson up there in Westmoreland with that win as the Indians improved to 7-1 on the year. Scott, it's huge for Cross Plains because, like I said, they haven't seen home playoff games in a long time, and they want to do that live.
Yeah, I was envious of you and Cam going to this game because I knew this was going to be absolutely huge. Nothing against the game I went to, but tell me about how well the offense performed against that Westmoreland defense.
Well, I want to start that third quarter and in the second half. The drive that we're talking about was a 16-play, 75-yard drive that ate up a considerable amount of the third quarter. It was their first drive of the second half and ended in the touchdown. They've kind of just pretty much asserted their dominance. It's the type of drive that you want to see in October and November when you need to run clock and control the game. And that's exactly what East Robertson was trying to do. And they did it to perfection. They played basically what Westmoreland tried to play last night. Just a power football game. They did not flashy. It was gritty. It was very physical. And it's a playoff game basically for both teams.
Well, that was the question, right? Coming into this game was, with all the speed and the skill that East Robertson has at various positions, could they play hard-nosed, gritty football? And could their defense step up and play hard-nosed, gritty football? And it looks like both questions were answered.
Yeah, they really were. Let's get you back to the scores from last night. Station Camp, a winner at Portland 21-14. The Bison get a non-region win up there against the Panthers. Both teams now 5-3. Station Camp with a key game next week against Green Hill. If they want to keep their playoff hopes alive, it's one they've got to win. Portland travels to Springfield, the first of two key games for the Panthers in region competition to close the regular season out. Oakland wins Region 4-6A in a convincing manner, 42-6. They were never really in doubt in this one. The Patriots 42-6 winners at Riverdale, 7-1 on the year, hosting Liberty Creek next week. Riverdale on the road at a tough non-region game at East Nashville. Stewart's Creek keeps rolling, 14 over Eagle. The Red Hawks now in a playoff position. They're suddenly in third place in that region after the win.
Yeah, Siegel just comes up a little bit short at the end with a field goal that didn't quite have the distance.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Siegel, that does end their playoff hopes. They're now 0-4 in region play. Stewart's 2-2 is Wilson Central at home in a non-region game next week. We just show you the highlights from East Robertson and Westmoreland. East Robertson is Forest next week. Westmoreland travels to White House. DCA 56-6 winners over Mount Juliet Christian. The Wildcats now 5-3. And they get Grace Christian at home in another key region battle next week. Mount Juliet Christian falls to 1-7. Smyrna 42-14 winners over Dixon County. The Bulldogs now 6-1 on the year, 3-1 in region play. They get a Thursday night game next week at McGavock. Dixon County on the road at Cane Ridge. On to those out of area scores, Marshall County 69-0 over Glencliff on Thursday night. Baylor all over Hendersonville 56-14. Nashville Christian 31-14 winners over Columbia Academy. Cannon County wins over Community 28-16. Upperman knocks off DeKalb County in overtime 17-16. Scott, you got something on that one?
Well, yeah. The thing about this is that Classic Steve Trapp goes for the win in overtime, just doesn't get the 2-point conversion. They actually had a chance to take the lead in regulation and just missed the field goal.
Eagleville 21-13 winners at Huntland. Ezo Harding falls at Jackson Central Mary 21-13. Friendship Christian stays perfect 8-0 now after a 31-14 win at East Hamilton. Pope Prep gets a key region win over Knoxville Catholic 42-35. Father Ryan falls to Macaulay 28-14. Middle Tennessee Christian 42, Webb School 21. Lipscomb 42, Youth 13. As the Mustangs now 8-0. Smith County goes to 7-1, 41-0 winners over Jackson County, and White House all over Stewart County, 49-14. And that really is all we've got score-wise from Week 9. It was a light week because of all the open dates and fall break teams.
Yep. Yeah, it really. Yeah. Now it gets gritty for a lot of the teams. The breaks are over. The gloves are off. It's time to finish up. Those who haven't clinched, they've got to tighten it up and worry about seeding, worried about getting back to it. So we're up for some fun couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it starts next Thursday night. There's some key region games next Thursday, and then Friday's going to have quite a loaded schedule. And then Week 11, obviously, a lot of intrigue and some playoff spots on the line. We'll talk more about those on the Mid-State 48 this week. We do have a spotlight game announcement for next week coming later today, so be sure to check out our social media for that. But for now, that's all the damage we can do from the Scoreboard show for Week 9. It's an abbreviated version. I told you we were going to go fast, so we're all done here. I know Cam Reed's in Knoxville getting ready for UT Alabama. So am I. I've got some stuff to pick up before 2:30 rolls around. Scott, you're on the road. Safe travels to you.
Thank you.
To all of you who are watching and listening around the area, thank you so much for joining us for the 615 Prep Scoreboard, powered by Fifth Gear Technology Concepts. We will talk to you on the Mid-State 48 Wednesday, and we'll see you right back here next Saturday morning, same time, same bat channel. For Scott Burton, I'm Chris Brooks. Have a good one and enjoy all the football this weekend. See you later.